Hi there, week 2 of Critical Essay, and this one is planning the essay and the opening paragraph. Okay, so you've got your notes in front of you, or you should have, and on the first page what I talk about is the difficulty not of what to put in, the difficulty should always be what to leave out. That's the skill involved in a critical essay. What do you leave out? Because you know so much about it that you've got to whittle it down and answer the question set, as we talked about in great detail last week. So this week we're looking at how we do a plan. Okay, so what I did there was I drew an analogy with having a dinner party, which I have to say I'm really very pleased with. I think it's quite a good one. So if you have people around for dinner, you wouldn't you wouldn't serve them Italian food, Indian food, Chinese, all the things you're good at, 6 puddings, 5, just to show them how good you are at it. You wouldn't. You would plan the meal, and you would serve your sort of base starter, your sort of what you're good at for a main course, and a good pudding. All the time, keeping in mind the people you have got for dinner. So if you have vegetarians, it's no good serving them chili con carne. They don't like meat. Same with the question. If the question asks you about setting, we don't want to hear about characters particularly, other than how it impacts on the characters. So you see the analogy there. Your best fit is really what I'm talking about here. Okay, so how do you plan that essay? Okay, so you've got your keywords. You've divided the question into 3 parts. You put your synonyms down. Next part, you are writing down the things that come to mind that you are going to put into this essay. You're writing quickly, it's an exam, you're under pressure, you write. So, I've given you the example of Lord of the Flies there. So you would write down boys are isolated, contrast between Ralph and Jack, similarities of the characters, the pig killing episode. You write down all the things that you think you might include. Your next job is to number that. Okay, now this is where you sit and you think about it. What would be a good order to write this essay in? Okay, and you get your pen and you score out ones that are no longer, you think, no, that's not really answering the question. Score it out. Okay, start. Number 1, boys are isolated. Number 2, I'm going to use Jack appeals to the boys on a primitive level, influences the other. Yeah, I'm going to write about that, and then straight after I'm going to write that. So number 1, then number 2, then number 3, number 4, and you're giving it a lot of thought. This is the thought bit. The writing bit, you're writing. Obviously, you're thinking at the same time too, but this is where the planning comes in. This is the hard work. This is the work that pays off. The bit that, unbelievably, lots of people miss out, and they just start writing an essay. But no, this is where you get a good pass. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to do. And I said at the bottom of that section there, by doing this, you ensure that you haven't omitted any part of the task. You've got to pay attention to that. You don't retell the story. You haven't spent too much time on one part, and you've got a decent structure from the outset. So it's a balanced, well-structured essay. It's well thought out. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to look at opening paragraphs, which I've just noticed I haven't typed properly, not spelt. Right. Opening paragraphs, that's hysterical, look at that. Opening paragraphs are a bit like first impressions, and I've mistyped it. So I will go and correct that right now. They're a bit like first impressions. You don't get a second chance at it. Make sure that examiner thinks from the outset this is a good, strong essay, a good candidate. No biography. An examiner knows about Shakespeare's background, William Golding's background, Robin Jenkins. They know about them. This is not the forum for you to waffle on. Okay, no quotes in the introduction whatsoever, and certainly don't try and be funny in your introduction. Not a good move. It's not the place for it. Okay, so very quickly, identify the author and the text. Use words from the question and explain why the text is suitable. Include 1 or 2 sentences summarising the text, no more than that. Refer to the words that set the task in the second sentence of the question, and we dealt with that last week. And give an idea of how the rest of the essay is going to develop. What else are you going to do in this essay? Okay, so I'll give you a good example there, the Norman McCaig poem. Have a look over that, and the different colours there show you the different parts of the paragraph. So the bit highlighted in the yellow is the summary of the poem. A strong impression of the violent atmosphere in the Brooklyn area is conveyed, comes back to the question. And then the next bit, the vivid imagery and the word choice, we're looking forward to what we're going to do in this essay. Okay? And then there are a couple of examples of that. And then assignment 2 and assignment 1. Yep, your assignment 1, you're breaking the questions into the 3 demands and writing out the keywords, the synonyms and the paragraph plan. And assignment 2, you are writing an introductory paragraph for both of the essays that you've chose for assignment 1. And the 2011 question paper is included there. Okay, good luck with it, and I'll speak to you soon.